So in this video, I'm going to be installing KDE Neon in a desktop computer. So this KDE Neon operating system has the latest KDE Plasma 6 desktop environment. So I'm going to click on download now. So there's user edition, testing edition, there's unstable edition, also developer edition. I'll download the user edition. So the size of the ISO file is about 2.7 gigabytes. I am going to be using Etcher to create the bootable USB drive. So I'll click on download and I'll download the exe file for Windows. So I have the Etcher exe file on the desktop as well as the Neon KDE ISO file. So I'm going to open up Etcher. I'll click Flash from File, select the ISO file, click Open, click on Select Target. I'll select the USB drive, click on Select One, and I'm going to click on Slash. So it's creating the bootable USB drive. So the USB drive was created, and now I'm going to take the USB drive and boot up the desktop computer. Okay, so I get to the boot up menu. I'm going to select the USB drive to boot up from. So here I have to choose, and there are a few options here. I'm going to select the first option, KDE Neon. So this is the welcome page. It says, welcome to the KDE Neon operating system running KDE Plasma. So I'm going to skip this welcome page. So I'll click on Install System. Okay, so this is the installer. So here there's a drop-down tab, and you can choose your language here. I'm going to leave it as American English. Click Next. This is where you have to choose your location, the region. There's a drop-down tab, and you can choose your country of region here. So this is the zone section, and you can select your city here. I'm going to leave it as New York. You can also drag this red dot. So I'm going to click Next. This is a keyboard layout. So this is a keyboard model. There's a drop-down tab here. You can choose whichever keyboard model you have, and you can choose the language here. So I'm going to leave it as English US, and on the right side, I'm going to leave it as default. So here it says type here to test your keyboard. You can do that if you want. There's also switch keyboard. There's a drop-down tab here. I'm going to click Next. So this is the partitions section. So here you have to select your storage device. If you have more than one hard drive, it will be listed here. There's a drop-down tab, and the drives will be listed here. So I only have one drive here, and it's 1 terabyte in size. So there are two options here, erase disk and manual partitioning. If you choose manual partitioning, you can create or resize partitions yourself. You can install the operating system in a particular partition. So this option, erase disk, this will install the operating system in the entire disk. So I'm going to choose this option, erase disk. You can also choose to encrypt the system if you would like. So this is current and this is after. So I'm going to click Next. So here's the user section, and you can type your name. You can input a username and input a password. Also, you can type in a name for the computer. So I'm going to type John. So it says here, what name do you want to use to log in? I'm going to leave it as the same name. On this section, it says, what is the name of the computer? You can leave it as is or change it. I'm going to type MSI. Here you have to choose a password. I'm going to type in a password, and this is just a simple password. And this option here says login automatically without asking for password. I'm going to leave this unchecked. I'll click Install. So it's installing the operating system. Okay, so installation is complete. I'm going to restart now. I'm going to click on Done. I'm going to remove the USB drive and hit Enter. So I'm going to log in. So this is the default wallpaper. This is the panel. This is the application launcher. So I'm going to click on application launcher. So you can configure the application launcher here. So there's favorites. These are all the applications. This is a text editor. So this is another text editor, KWrite. This is the development menu. This is graphics. This is internet. This is multimedia. This is office. This is settings. This is system. This is utilities. And this is the help menu. So I want to update the system. So I'm going to click on Discover Software Center. So on the left side, there's updates, and this is the system upgrade. So if I click on more information, this is a list of the updates. I'll click on Update All, click Proceed. So I'm going to restart now. So I'm going to log back in. So I'm going to click on System Settings. This is the mouse and touchpad configuration. This is the keyboard settings. So this is the virtual keyboard settings. So this is a shortcut settings, and you can set shortcuts for applications here. So if you have a touch screen, this is the touch screen settings. This is the game controller settings if you have game controller in your computer. If you have a drawing tablet, this is the configuration settings here. So this is the sound settings. And this is the notification sounds. You can adjust it. This is display and monitor. So you can change the resolution here. You can change the scale. This is accessibility. So you can enable bell notification. There is also custom sound. So this is a visual bell. You can enable that. You can also change the color. Here's also a screen reader, and you can enable that. So there's Bluetooth settings. This is for disk and cameras, and these are the device actions. This is digital camera. You can add a digital camera here. So if you have Thunderbolt connection in a computer, you can configure it here. There's KDE Connect, there's printers, so you can add printers here. You can configure a print server, you can add a printer. So this is the Wi-Fi and network settings. So this computer is connected to the internet by Ethernet cable. So this is the firewall settings. You can configure a proxy. And there's connection preferences. This is the online accounts. You can add a new account here. This is colors and themes. So right now this is Breeze. I'm going to change it to Breeze Stack. Click Apply. And this is more like a dark theme. I'll select Breeze Twilight. So I'll select the default. This is colors. So you can change to a custom accent color or color from wallpaper. And you can choose any one of these colors. You can also select a custom color here. And you can select Get New. And you can install any one of these. So these are the new color themes. You can download any one of these themes. So this is the night light settings. This is application style. There's Fusion. There's MS Windows 9X. You can also configure icons and toolbars. I'll click on Plasma and Style. I'll click on Breeze Dark, click Apply. So this is how the panel shows the color change. I'll select Breeze Light, click Apply. I'll click on Oxygen, click Apply. So I'll select the default, click Apply. You can also reset it. So this is Windows decorations. I'll click on icons. This is Breeze Dark. So this is cursors, and there's Breeze and there's Breeze Light. So I just have to place the cursor on each of the cursor that is showing. This is how it looks. I'll select Breeze Light. So this is system sounds, and you can select from these. And here's where you can enable notification sounds. So this is splash screen, and there's Breeze. So this is the default. I'll click on login screen. So this is a login screen manager, SDDM, and the default is Breeze. This is my, I'm going to leave it as default. And this is the boot splash screen. So this is the default Breeze. And you can get new here, click on get new. And you can install any one of these. So this is text and fonts. So you can change the font here, the font style, the size of the font. I'll click on Font Manager. It says Personal Fonts, System Fonts. You can also get new fonts. So this is the wallpaper settings, and you can choose a different wallpaper here. And this is a wallpaper type, plain color, image, this is slideshow, picture of the day. This will download it from the internet. And this is changing the position, scaled and crop scaled, centered, tiled. So this is the default applications. And here you can configure the default applications for all of these. For example, internet, there's only Firefox. There's multimedia. This is the documents, utilities. So this is file associations. So we have different categories, applications. Here's for audio. This is for font, it's for image. And you can also click on reset to reset everything to default. So this is notifications, and you can configure your notifications settings here. So this is Windows management. So this is focus. These are the settings. This is title bar actions. This is window actions. This is the movement tab. This is advanced. So I'll click on task switcher. There's alternative. and you can get new task switches. This is desktop effects. So they are listed by categories, accessibility. This is zoom function, magnifier function. There's appearance. This is focus. This is tools. So this is the Windows management, and this is under desktop effects. So here is where you can configure the cube feature. Right now it's unchecked by default. So I'm going to check this box. I'm going to click apply. So this is the window, open and close animation, fade, glide, scale. This is the window, rules, keywin scripts. And this is the virtual desktop settings. So I'm going to click on virtual desktops. This is the settings. There's only one desktop here. I'm going to add 3 more. I'll click apply, and you can see on the panel, it shows here. You can also configure the rows. So I'm going to add 2 rows. I'll click apply, and this is how it shows. And you can also configure show animation when switching. You can slide or fade desktop, show on screen display when switching. You can change the timing on that, and show desktop layout indicators. So I'm going to open Firefox. I'm going to click on the next virtual desktop. I'm going to open Firefox again. I'm just going to open a website. I'll click on the 3rd virtual desktop. I'm going to open Firefox again, and I'll open the 4th desktop, open Firefox again, and open another website. So to activate the cube, I am using a Windows keyboard. I just have to hold down the Windows key and the C key. And this is how it shows. I just have to take the mouse and I can just move it around. This is the cube feature. So there's also activities, general behavior. So this is search, and here you can configure the settings here. This is Plasma search, and here you can enable or disable plugins. This is screen locking. You can configure how many minutes before the screen is locked. So this is application permissions. This is recent files, user feedback, region and language. This is spell check. This is the date and time settings. And this is about the system. So right now the KDE Plasma version is 6.0.2. This is the kernel version. This is the energy saving settings. This is software updates. You can configure to automatically update or manually update. This is users, and here you can add more users. You can just click add and add a new user. On account type, you can select standard or administrator. This is auto start. This is sessions. So this is the background services, and you can pause these. Any one of these, you can uncheck it. This is desktop sessions. On session restore, you can configure these on login, launch apps that were open. This is locations, so you can configure the locations of all of these. There's desktop path, documents path, downloads path, videos, pictures, music, public, templates. So if you notice on the panel on the left side, the edges are rounded. So I'm going to open the Software Center app. And these are a list of apps that you can download and install, and they are listed by categories. You can also search here. These are all the applications, and you can download these. So there are over 4,000 items. There's accessories. There are over 800 items. There's developer tools. And you have all of these categories. So there's education. There are over 300 items that you can download. There's games. There are over 900 items. And you can also search here for a particular game. So there's action, there's arcade, there's board games, there's card games, emulators. So this is graphics. So there are lists of categories here. This is internet. So there's for chat, file sharing, mail. There's web browsers. So there's Google Chrome here. You can download Microsoft Edge, Tor browser. This is multimedia. Over 500 items. This is audio and video editors. This is audio players. CD and DVD video players. There's over 100 items in video players. This is Office. This is science and engineering. So they are listed by categories: astronomy, biology, chemistry, computer science, robotics, electronics, engineering, geography, geology, mathematics, and physics. So this is the panel. I'm going to right-click the panel. I'm going to click on Add Widget. And these are a list of widgets here. I can also search for a particular widget. So if I want to add a widget, I just have to drag it onto the desktop. And I could also increase or decrease the size. I can rotate it. I can also configure it. Also, there's a panel here. So there are some menus here. The Add Widgets, Add Panel, Configure Desktop and Wallpaper, Choose Global Theme, Configure Display Settings. I'm going to close this. So I'm going to right-click the panel again. I'm going to select Enter Edit Mode. And this is the panel settings. I can add spacer, add widgets. So this is the position, alignment, and width of the panel. So for example, if I select Set Position, and this is how it shows. I'll place the panel on the right, and I just have to select the arrow, and I can align it. I can configure the height here also. The default is 44. I can auto hide, dodge windows, windows go below. This is opacity. This is floating. This is the style. So this is the Dolphin file manager, and these are all configured by size. So I can also right-click the desktop and configure desktop on wallpaper from here. Configure display settings and enter edit mode. So on the lower right side, there's some icons here. There's a clock. There's status and notifications. There's the network icon. You can adjust the sound here. So if you need more information on the KDE Neon OS, you can go to the website and you can read more about it. So I want to thank you for watching, and I thank you for subscribing.